Harness's next pitch. This one swung on, hit well into left center. Andrews goes back and makes the catch on the warning track as she falls down for the first out.
It's a great ranging catch there by Brooke Andrews out in center field. The wind going to carry that one out towards nothing.
A 1-2 pitch. This one hit into left field. Bland goes back a couple steps, makes the catch for the second out of the inning.
That's a great job on defense by Nebraska, being ready for anything.
2-0 pitch. Zedak cranks this one to left field, but right at Bland, who goes down to a knee and makes the catch for the third out of the inning. At first, Emma Ray catching, and Ashley Miller is the pitcher as Billy Andrews bunts the first pitch and reaches on an infield single.
That's just great recognition by the experienced player Andrews.
Brings up the left fielder Samantha Bland. She swings at the first pitch, hits it into left center field. Center fielder going back, and it's gone! A 2-run home run from Samantha Bland. And the Huskers out to a quick 2-0 lead.
Well, Nebraska not wasting any time to get on the board here against the Big Ten's best pitcher. And once again, it's the freshman Samantha Bland who comes up with a huge swing here. This pitch middle. Samantha Bland just sends it out there to our camera operator out in the outfield. And it's 2-0 Nebraska.
2 pitches into it.
Yeah. No time to breathe.
Brings up the third baseman, Sydney Gray. 55 strikeouts. Next pitch, line to third base. Caught by the third baseman, Katie, for the first out.
Yeah, that's just a preparation play there by Katie. Having to have your glove up ready in defense is your right off the leg.
3-2 pitch, swing and a miss from Cope. And Miller has her first strikeout of the game.
That's all of them earned. Certainly an uncharacteristic start to the game.
First pitch to Cody, bounced over to second. Robson picks it up, fires over to first in time for the final out of the inning.
But it was a home run. Everything kind of happened so quickly.
Harness's next pitch bounced over to Kaneda at second. She takes on a hop, quick throw over to first in time for the first out. Harness winds and deals the 2-2. This one popped up on the infield. Bacon goes back a couple of steps, calls off Kaneda, and makes the catch.
I thought for a second there that Kaneda might not have a beat on it. Throw her 29th pitch.
That pitch up and out. So a 2-out walk to Donahue does bring up Cunha.
5 average with extra base hits in a weekend series versus Michigan. So certainly the power to get it to the outfield is there.
The 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss from Cunha. And Harness works around the 2-out walk. No reach. Miller winds and deals the 1-2. This one rolled over to third. Katie takes it, throws across the diamond just in time to get Bacon by half a step. Next pitch hit into left center field. It'll drop in front of the center fielder, Lindsay. And a 1-out single from Bredwell.
Well, with that single, Bredwell's average will most likely jump to that 300 line.
Miller toes the rubber, the 0-2 pitch. Bouncer towards short. Donahue picks it up, throws over to first in time for the second out, but Bredwell advances to second.
Yeah.
Bredwell off on contact with 2 outs. A 3-2 pitch, high and inside, throw back down to second, not in time. So Kaneda takes a 2-out walk, so runners at first and second. First pitch to her, popped up on the infield. Catcher Ray grabs it right in front of the netting, and a big third out by Ashley Miller and the Wildcats to keep Nebraska off the board in the second. No runs on 1 hit. What a potential there from Muno for sure.
Harness deals. Swung on and missed, and another strikeout. That's her second of the day for Sarah Harness.
Good for Lindsay down and not have any runners on.
1-1. Up the middle, fielded by Harness. Pitcher fielding her position, and she gets the second out. The Nebraska infield to Brooke Andrews back in the first inning. This one lined out to Brooke again, chasing it back at the track at the wall, and it's over the fence. That ball touches down in the outfield trees, and Northwestern puts a run on the board. It's 2-1 in favor of the Cornhuskers over the Wildcats.
11th homer of the season for Robinson, and that's exactly why we said getting the 9-batter out was huge, because Robinson has that potential. With a runner on, that would have tied the game, but instead only a solo shot, and Nebraska still leads by 1.
That ball got out of here extremely quickly, out to the trees in center field. She missed it short on her first attempt. She got all of that one. Harness trying to prevent it. 2-1. Lined out to Cody in right field. She reaches up. It's over her head, but a quick field off the fence and holds Nader to a single. Great defensive play by Peyton Cody in right field. 1-2 the count. 2 outs. Runner at first. The pitch. Chopped over the first base bag. It's through the hole. Cody fields it on a hop. Throws into second. And there will be runners at the corners with 2 down as Zedak delivers a single.
Nice piece of hitting by Zedak there. Good 2-out hitting to go the other way.
By Robinson. 0-1 hits the batter, and it's a dead ball. So the runner Nader will have to head back to third, but the bases will be loaded for Northwestern. That will bring up the 5-hole spot of Emma Ray. We mentioned it, 34th player in the nation in the class of 2023, the first year for Northwestern. Chops it on the ground. Harness can't field it cleanly, and a run will score as Billy Andrews flips to third to hold the runner. And this game is tied at 2 apiece.
Really unfortunate for Harness there. She made a really good pitch. Just got a grounder right back to her. Stuck out the glove, and it bounced right off of it into no man's land. And everyone's safe.
And an E1 assessed. So now the count's 2-2 with 2 outs. That one grounded over to short. Andrews has it, flips to second, and she gets the out. Close play, but the side is retired, only allowing 2 runs. We go to the bottom of the third, tie game, 2-2 on Big Ten Plus. 0-1 to Bland. That one grounded up the middle, fielded by the shortstop Donahue. She throws over to first in time, and there's 1 down here in the bottom of the third.
Great play.
Live at the plate. The pitch. Grounded over to third. It's fair. Katie has it. Throws over to first. Good stretch by Muno. And there are 2 down. Husker offense. 0-1. Grounded over to third. Katie has it. She throws to first in time. And the Huskers go down in order on 3 groundouts. No runs, no hits, no errors. No action in the Husker bullpen. There is some throwing being done in the Northwestern bullpen. 3-1, skied over to shallow left. Chasing it back is Andrews. In is Bland. She reaches and makes the grab. Samantha Bland retires out number 1.
I think it's a good thing that Bland called.
Another 1-2. Swung on and missed. Caught by Breadwell. And there's 2 down. Harness has her 3rd strikeout of the day. Lindsay is batting .321 in conference play, despite the poor season average. A bunt laid down here. Harness gives way to Gray. Gray over to Kaneda at first in time. A 5-4 put out. Miller up to 48 pitches, the 49th on the way. Swung on and missed. 2nd strikeout of the day for Miller. And there's 1 down for Nebraska. It's a couple of games earlier in this season, but the regular first baseman lines it out to second base, and Robinson makes the grab for out number 2. That one chopped over to short. Donahue fields it, throws to first in time, side retired in order, and we will remain tied at 2 as we head to the top of the 5th inning.
Field. Outfield near the warning track. 3-2 pitch. High and tight. A leadoff walk to Kansas Robinson. Northwestern.
Nader will do whatever is asked of her.
This time, she fists it into center field. It's a single for Nader with runners at first and second now and no one out.
Yeah, that was almost like a big opportunity here to maybe drive in a couple runs.
1-1 pitch, hit well into center. Andrews goes back a step, makes the catch. Her throw into third, cut off by her sister Billy. So a sac fly to the third baseman. This one hit well into left. Bland retreats, makes the catch, throws it back into the infield. But it's deep enough for Robinson to score from third. Sac fly from Katie gives Northwestern their first lead of the game at 3-2.
And again, good example of good base running by Kansas Robinson, holding up on the fly ball. She knew it was deep enough that she would be able to score on a throw by Bland. And she also knew that with less than 2 outs that Nebraska was going to try and keep that trail runner.
The payoff pitch to Ray. This one bounced back up the middle into center field for a base hit. Nader rounds third, heads home, slides in safely. As Ray takes second on the throw, RBI single for Emma Ray gives Northwestern a 4-2 lead.
Yeah, great base running both by Nader and by Ray. Andrews was unable to get enough on this throw. The ball almost beat her home, but a great slide by Nader. And then Ray, being aware that the throw was going home without a cutoff, taking
the 0-1 pitch hit into center field. Andrews coming in on it and makes the catch. But 2 runs home for Northwestern here in the top of the 5th. 2 runs turned into a pretty nice day. 2-1 pitch grounded to third. Katie takes it, throws it across the diamond in time to retire Andrews for the first out.
and it's close to that 100 mark right now.
1-2 pitch to Kaneda, lined into left field. That's going to be a 1-out single for Kaneda. Puts a runner on for
Day. This is the last homestand for Nebraska.
3-1 to Billy. Bounce towards third. Katie picks it, throws to first, not in time. As Andrews beats it out, an infield single. Has
just on the base paths.
3-2 pitch to Bland. Into left field. Zedak comes in, makes the catch. The runners stay put. So big second out for Miller there.
Gray could be a little selective on this pitch.
Miller's pitch popped up into center field. Lindsay goes back, keeps going back, and makes the catch a couple of feet in front of the warning track. So no runs for Nebraska on 2 hits, no errors, and they leave 2 on base.
Minnesota to finish out the Big Ten regular season. Full count pitch. Swung on, popped high. Bacon calls it, and she has it. Out number 1 belongs to Bella Bacon. Shaborski's first pitch she sees is popped over to Kaneda at second, and there are 2 down. 1 pitch, 1 out for the pinch hitter.
Harness needed a quick out there with her pitch count now at 105.
1-1 is skied out to left field. Bland chasing it back, but the wind will hold it up, and Samantha Bland retires the side. 1, 2, and 3 go Northwestern, and Nebraska will bat now in the bottom of the 6th, trailing 4-2. You're watching on Big Ten Plus. Pitch and hit. Designated on the roster as a utility player. 2-0, line to second. Nice snag by Kansas Robinson. Muno is still dealing with the sun as well. 2-2 over the head of Muno. Will it drop fair? It does! And Neal is safe at first base with a bloop single right.
Go down looking.
With only 1 out, Neal has to be careful at first. The payoff way outside, and it's ball 4. Bella Bacon does draw the walk, and there's 2 on with only 1 out. Already at the mark. 2 on, 1 out. First pitch to Breadwell gets by the catcher, Ray, and now 2 runners are in scoring position on the wild pitch for Nebraska. And the pop in her bat lurks on deck. 3-1, misses high, bases loaded for the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Three balls, 2 strikes, the pitch. Down, and a run will come home on the RBI walk by Brooke Andrews. The lead is cut to 1. It's 4-3 Northwestern.
Another really close 2-strike pitch from Miller. We can get our first replay here. Can't quite see first on this one.
I can't see it on the replay, and it is within all realm of possibility that a runner could have left early.
So that's third. Looks okay from there. I believe they did point at first when they challenged.
Our ruling is in as home plate umpire Mike Hernandez has the headset off, and here's the call. The runner is out. And so leaving early. Bases are loaded again, but this time with 2 outs for Caitlin Kaneda. Kaneda lines one through the gap. 1 run coming home. Rounding third is Bella Bacon. No throw, and the Huskers have tied the game at 4 apiece. Caitlin Kaneda comes through with 2 outs, and it's 4-all in Lincoln.
What a huge hit for Kaneda. Went the opposite way for her second hit of the game. As you see it here, another really good swing. Jumped on that first pitch. Put it into left field. Bacon rounded third. It's going to be a close play at home, but it was cut off. They tried to get Andrews back at second, but she slid back in safely.
Big play. But 2 on for Billy Andrews. She lines one out to right field. Coming in is Nader, and she makes the grab. But the damage has been done. Nebraska ties the game on a 2 RBI single by Caitlin Kaneda. This Nebraska squad.
Next pitch to Robinson, hit into center field. Andrews comes in, and it's going to drop right in front of her. Leadoff single to start the 7th for the Wildcat. Now the payoff pitch to Nader. Grounded right back to Kinney. Her throw to second is wild and gets into center field. It's going to be a tough play to get Robinson at second base.
Pitchers tonight.
First pitch to Zedak. She bunts it towards third. Ray picks it up, fires across to first in time for the first out of the 7th. But Robinson and Nader advance to second and third.
Yeah, and that's a huge bunt right there to get 2 runners in scoring position with less than 2 outs. Northwestern trying to take advantage of the small ball situation.
Kinney toes the rubber. Her 3-1 pitch. Hit into center field. Andrews goes back a couple of steps, makes the catch for the second out, throws it into Andrews at short, and the run does come home to score on the sac fly from Hannah Cady. And Northwestern takes the 5-4 lead here in the 7th.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I was talking about earlier is deep fly ball. Now Northwestern has the lead back, which for Nebraska, a 1 run, not the worst thing. You see Cady just got under this one enough to carry it into the outfield. Andrews really had no play but to get the ball in as both runners were going to advance and can continue the momentum.
0-2 pitch bounces away from Breadwell in the dirt. And on the wild pitch, Nader comes home to score. Northwestern back up by 2.
Yeah, and that's just a tough.
Ready to deal the 2-2 pitch. Off-speed pitch in there, strike 3. Sends Ray down looking. But Northwestern with 2 runs on 1 hit. There was 1 error and no runners left on base. Headed to the bottom of the 7th, Nebraska. So 1-1 count. Bland swings to the first pitch. Nice snag by Cady at third. And she throws across the diamond for the big first out of the 7th.
Well, what a difference between a runner on and nobody out.
Next pitch from Cunningham. Rolled over to first. Off the mitt of Muno. She recovers in time. Takes it herself for the second out of the 7th.
And what a difficult play to make, but it was.
Cunningham back on the rubber. For 2-1 pitch. Skied into center. It's hit pretty well by Cope. At the track wall, it's gone. Huskers aren't done yet. A 2-out solo home run to dead center field from Emerson Cope has trimmed the deficit to 1.
What a huge home run by Emerson Cope. That ball just kept carrying out to center. And now that reinvigorates the crowd here who maybe were feeling a little off with the 2 outs. But Emerson Cope saying, we're not done. Northwestern will have to face at least 1 more batter.
It was skied in the air. Couldn't quite tell if it had enough to get out as the center fielder Lindsay was tracking it all the way to the wall.
On the RBI single.
Neal over to second. Robson picks it up. Throws over to first in time. And Northwestern takes game 1 of the series 6-5.
What a ball game. We had a little bit of everything. We had some interesting plays. We had a couple of home runs from both teams, and just a great start to what's sure to be a good series this weekend. Nebraska playing another one-run game in Northwestern, trying to secure their spot for the Big Ten regular season title.